The Trader Cobb Crypto Show, talking business in blockchain.
G'day everybody and welcome to the Trader Cobb Crypto Show. I hope you're having a fantastic start to your day. It's been very nice moves in the market overnight. Interesting to see what is down the most. I mean, across the top 10, we haven't seen a great deal of movement for a very long time. So it is somewhat, I guess, enjoyable to see some momentum, to be absolutely straight with you guys. I mean, obviously I can short. Those of you that know how to trade this way have opportunities in either direction. The positivity out there in the market's probably been sapped a little bit. The sideways market remains still sideways in my view. There are some trends to the downside. Within the top 10, some notable ones being IOTA and NEO, as that yesterday on my live trading floor scan and video out. I did mention these. Now, whether it's set up perfectly or not, they did continue. I didn't trade yesterday simply because I was still pretty jet lagged after my trip to Dubai, and I tend to, after a bit of time out, watch the first couple of trades. So I can remember last time this happened, I'd had a break. I went up to Noosa and spent a week or so up there, went up the beach and basically disconnected from the market entirely for about 4 days. It was glorious. Really nice to have a bit of a break. And when I came back, the trade setup was Powerledger. It was Powerledger against Bitcoin, and it moved really well. And I know a number of the members did work very well from that. I didn't, because I chose not to take that. And it's part of my plan to basically sit back and watch the first trade or two. You know, the first day back, I usually won't take a trade. Even if the first trade was profitable and there's another one, I usually leave the first day of trading. Well, guess what? Today's day 2 and I am back and I am ready, and we have got some momentum in the market. Now, Bitcoin's down 2.61%. And before you throw your toys out of the pram and get all upset and get worried and yada yada, it needs to be said that we still are within the daily range. And if we look at the candle now, I mean, it continues to fall. It's not. It's got a fair bit of momentum with it here. It's down only $161. Now, of course, that $161 seems like a great deal, considering we've not seen very much more than sort of $50 as a daily range for the last few weeks. With that being said, of course, we look at the lower time frames. I go to the mid-time time frames to kick off, which is the 4 hour. And there's a lovely Fibonacci booster sitting right in there around that 64.39 level. Now, for me, it's about following these trends. I will happily trade the mid to lower time frames within this daily range. And to remind you of what that daily range is, we're looking between $6,100 and $6,830 roughly. As we get down towards 6,100, I would be anticipating to be closing positions. As a matter of fact, to be honest with you, recently I've been looking to take less profit. So I'm not looking for runners now. We need to adapt as traders. We need to make sure that we don't just stick to one thing all the time. As the markets did calm down, get quiet, and not move quite so much, I did a video to members in MarketView that was sort of saying, go back over your last 10 trades. Go back over those last 10 trades, have a look at what's going on there, have a look at what you've been doing, and then start to look at what would be the best method of target. So optimizing your targeting is really important. And of course, in the courses, I always go through and I say to people, you want to look to scale out at 1-to-1. Now, not everyone's going to do that forever. You will develop and you'll have your own way of targeting. And that's the whole intention. I want you to grow into that position. And to change things when things need to be changed, not so much with the strategy, but with how you take profits. It's a big part of what I do. And the reason I go for 1-to-1 or suggest 1-to-1 early on is quite simply so that you minimize your risk at all costs. You need to learn to be a trader, a good trader, before you can actually go ahead and make any changes. And you need to have a reason to make changes. And the only way you can have a reason to make changes is by going back through and seeing your results based on the trades you've taken. So for me, I'm looking for shorter term trades, in and out relatively quickly. And when I say shorter term, that doesn't mean lower time frames. That means I might be going and focusing on, if I get like an 8 hour cradle setup, for example, I might just go for a 1-to-1, 2-to-1, or all out at 2-to-1. Maybe a little bit more depending on what the chart is telling me. But it's really important to understand what you're looking at, what you're looking for, and if you're making any changes that are based off the back of your own trading. So across the top 10, we are down. Bitcoin the lowest at 2.55%, and we've got IOTA at 7.1%, the biggest mover to the downside, which did present an opportunity yesterday for those that were really keen. For me, as I said, I didn't take anything yesterday. Am I a bit bummed about that? No, not really, because that's just the way I go. I always stick to my rules and I always trade the way that I have done for the last 12 years. And when I come back after a break, I take a break and watch the markets. I'm well and truly back in the zone now because the markets that I was watching have continued in that direction. And had I have taken any of those potential setups, and I'm sure some members did, I would have been in the money. Guys, have a fantastic day. The sky is not falling. We are still within our range. Jump across to tradercobb.com and register for the free bi-weekly video newsletter if you have not already. And I'll speak to you again tomorrow. Bye for now.
The Trader Cobb Crypto Podcast is hosted by Craig Cobb. All Trader Cobb courses, products, and tools can be found at tradercobb.com because experience matters.